Hello and welcome to the Easy Odds Euro 2016 Day 7 Tips. It's the big day. It's the only day that matters.
It's been a week already.
It's been a week of Euro 2016. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. It doesn't seem like a week ago Payet scored that goal. 2 of the home nations are playing. Well, 3 of the home nations are playing. I just discounted Wales as a home nation. I just don't want them to be there.
It's usually a bit
England v Wales.
It's the big one.
First game on. I'm nervous already. I'm very
pretty
nervous.
Yeah.
I was especially nervous when I thought it was Thursday earlier. And I was freaking out. And oh no, England are playing Wales. But who are the favourites? Obviously England the favourites, but that doesn't mean anything, does it, Ross?
Yeah, they've actually been made favourites. They've been made short price favourites here, 3 to 5 to win the game in the full-time result market. Somewhat surprising, especially when you consider how poor Russia were in the match against us, and they've gone on to play Slovakia in the match that is on right now live, and they've been pretty awful again. So the 1-1 draw hardly looks that impressive now. 3 to 5, I think, is far too short. Personally, a lot of bookmakers are going as short as 1 to 2. So if you do feel that England are going to win this game, 1 to 2 is the worst price, or 3 to 5 is the best price. Another reason to use the odds comparison service with easyodds.com. But yeah, Wales, on the other hand, won their first match up against Slovakia 2-1. They were on the ropes for quite a bit of that game, but they managed to pick up their 3 points, and they're available at 13 to 2 to win the game, which looks really big, a really big price. But those are the odds in the full-time result market. But in terms of my recommended bet, by the way, I've landed a 6 to 1 tip already today with my tip of Vladimir Weiss anytime goal scorer in the Slovakia game. To add on to my profit for the last 3 days in a row. So we're doing pretty well so far in these videos.
Draw no bet as well.
If it stays on for this, I'm not willing to say it's a winning bet yet.
That looks like it's going to be a winning bet. They're 2-0 up in 75 minutes gone.
So yeah,
unless they're Derby.
Unless they're Derby, yeah. But I'm going to back England to win and both teams to score here. That's the best price of 3 to 1 using the odds comparison service. I think England will score. England have only failed to score once in their last 13 games. They struggled to break down a stubborn Russian defence on the weekend, but they managed to net eventually with a special Eric Dyer free kick, which shows that it's not just open play that England can score with, and that was also the case against Portugal in the warm-up game where Chris Smalling came up with a header. Yeah. So we're not always guaranteeing goals from the forwards. We've got goals all around the pitch. Wales have only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 7 games. That was a home tie against Andorra, a match that you're expected to keep a clean sheet at home against Andorra. So I think that England will have the quality to break through their defence and score a goal or 2 against a second choice keeper probably, as Wayne Hennessy's out injured, touch and go for Wales. Wales did beat Slovakia on the weekend, but as I said at the start, they were on the ropes for plenty of it. I expect England to dominate possession in this match up against Wales, but I do expect Wales to score also, despite the fact that they failed to score in any of the 4 last matches against England in their history. They've got plenty of threat on the counter-attack, and England need to try and win this game now. So I think that England will play on the front foot, and that's going to suit Wales. So I think that Wales will score as well. We've only kept 1 clean sheet in our last 6 games, so I think both teams to score, but England to win at 3 to 1 is a decent price there.
Very decent price. You like both teams to score and certain teams to win, don't you?
Yeah.
You get really good odds for them, actually.
It worked on that opening day for France and Romania, just with the last gas goal for the
it'll work again.
And it'll work again, yeah.
Next up, Northern Ireland versus Ukraine. Are Northern Ireland going to be able to get a 0-0 draw against Ukraine?
Well, quite possibly get a 0-0 result, yeah. That seems to be how they're going to set out to play.
Yeah.
If you watch the Northern Ireland-Poland match, it was quite excruciating watching at certain points. There was a crazy stat actually in that game where Northern Ireland didn't touch the ball in Poland's half in the opening 45 minutes of play.
That is a crazy stat.
But if you set your stall out for a 0-0, then that's perfect. Why play it in the other team's half? But moving on to this matchup against the Ukraine, 8 to 13 best price for a Ukraine win. Of course, Northern Ireland before the tournament were on a 12-match unbeaten run, so it could prove to be too short a price at 8 to 13 because they've proven that they're a hard team to break down. Poland took a long time to break them down. The goal came kind of midway through the second half.
Yeah.
They kept Lewandowski quiet, a striker who I actually thought would score in that game. I backed him to score in that game, and they kept him quiet, but they didn't quite manage to hold out entirely. They lost 1-0. So 8-13 could prove kind of tricky there, but 13-2 if you fancy a Northern Ireland win, which is a brave bet. But we've seen in this tournament already with Hungary beating Austria that upsets can happen.
Definitely.
So 13-2 if you fancy them in the full-time result market. But moving on to my recommended bet, it's Ukraine to keep a clean sheet. If you watched the team betting video that we did 2 weeks ago, you'll remember that I tipped Northern Ireland not to score a goal in the whole tournament at 11-2.
You did.
And I'm pretty happy with that bet following the performance against Poland, because they didn't seem to want to even get any other teams half.
They didn't
let them score a goal.
Literally didn't go in their half.
So I think Ukraine to keep a clean sheet here at best price of 5-6 looks fairly decent. Northern Ireland are very unadventurous, as I've pointed out already. They've only really got set pieces as a kind of a goal threat. 6 of their 10 goals in qualifying came from set pieces. And whilst it's a slight worry that Ukraine let a goal into Germany from a set piece, I would have also put a caveat to that, in that Northern Ireland don't have a player of Tony Kroos's crossing ability. So fingers crossed that they can deal with the one kind of threat that Northern Ireland have, and that's set pieces. But Northern Ireland have only scored more than 1 goal in their last 7 games, so they're rarely scoring. So they either score 1 goal or no goal. So fingers crossed that they won't score here. Ukraine will dominate the ball in this game. They'll have a hell of a job breaking Michael O'Neill teams down. And as you say, they could get a 0-0 here. I looked up that price, and it's the best price, 6-1, if you do fancy that.
Okay.
But the Ukraine have conceded just 1 goal in 4 fixtures against Northern Ireland and kept 5 clean sheets in the last 10 games. So they're a pretty stout defensive team. They only let in that last-minute goal to Germany because they were pounding forward. So that result is kind of skewed a little bit. A 1-0 loss isn't so bad from a set play up against the world champions.
Yeah.
So I think 5-6 on Ukraine to keep a clean sheet against a Northern Ireland team that are pretty unadventurous is a decent bet then.
That is a decent bet. Just one thing, if you feel like it's going to be 0-0 and you want to back it, remember to back no goal scorer and
That's
not 0-0.
true.
Because
if it's an own goal, then you still win your
if it's
bet.
an own goal, you still win your bet. And it's usually the same price.
Top advice there, Jake.
Thanks.
Top advice. But
I
also,
got told that by someone.
there you go.
It wasn't me.
Also, if you're using easy odds for this match, there are some really, really good value anytime goal scorers in the anytime goal scorer market. I'm not saying that Northern Ireland are going to score a goal in this, but I'm a tipster. I'm not going to get every single one right, and they may score a goal. I don't think they will, but you may think that they will. And in that market, there are some really big price differences. Someone like Craig Cathcart, who scored, I think 3 games ago now. Russia have just scored, so that's a bit of a worry. Craig Cathcart scored in the friendly against Wales, and a best price here, as I said, he's a big centre half, and he's kind of the threat that Northern Ireland have from set pieces. Worst price 12-1, best price 32-1 to score in this game.
That's huge. That's a
an
weird price as
absolutely
well.
Huge price. That's pretty much trebling your odds.
Yeah.
For the same selection. So that's exactly why we try and advise you to use easyodds.com, because we do offer the best odds across the board. So why take one price when you can see all the prices and then take that best price?
Yeah.
So that's my kind of caveat on that game.
Yeah. Okay. So the big game, absolutely huge game. Should be a fantastic game. Really good game in qualifying. Germany versus Poland.
Yeah, really looking forward to this game. Group C gets really interesting here. It's the 2 teams that won their opening matches. So one of these sides is going to push ahead and move to top of the table.
Unless they draw.
Unless they draw, in which case they'll still do, because they'll be on 4 points.
Yeah. They'll both be top.
Best price here in the full-time result market for Germany, 6-10 if you fancy Germany to win this game. I'm sure that many of you will, as they're the world champions. Germany deposited of Ukraine 2-0 in their match in the first game. They weren't entirely in their comfort zone there. Ukraine forced some pretty decent saves out of Neuer and an incredible goal line clearance from Jerome Boateng.
That was amazing.
So they didn't have it all their own way, but 2-0 is still equaling the best scoreline in the whole tournament. So you can't say that they did poorly at all.
No.
But if you do fancy Poland to win this game, they're best price 11-2. So those are your two options there: 6-10 on Germany or 11-2 on Poland. But going then on to my recommended bet, it's over 2.5 goals in this game. I think goals is the bet here. I fancy this because Germany have proven, even with only one out-and-out striker in their whole squad, that they can control games, create chances, and then also they're actually quite shaky at the back. So if you're a team that pushes forward, controls the game, and then also is quite shaky at the back, goals are going to be pretty much premium. So in the match against the Ukraine, for example, they had 14 shots on goal. They scored a goal from a set play and also on counter-attack. So they're kind of the perfect team in that they can do kind of all things. And they're not like a Northern Ireland, who are kind of like a one-trick pony. They're a dynamic team that can do so many different things and can hurt you in so many different ways. So I think that they will definitely score a goal. Poland, on the other hand, great attacking team in my opinion. They found their way past the green wall of Northern Ireland, which is no mean feat because Northern Ireland have got 10 men behind the ball at pretty much all times.
Yeah.
And they scored 19 goals in the last 10 games, and they also struggled to keep clean sheets themselves against the better side. So goals here look like it is the go-to bet. Germany have conceded 5 goals in the last 4 games to Poland, and also scored 5. So historically in this fixture, goals will arrive, including last year when Germany won 3-1 in Germany against Poland. So that's 4 goals there. So that would have landed our bet. We only need 3 for this bet to land, and the best price 4 to 5 there for there to be 3 or more goals. I think is really decent. You've got such an array of attacking talent. Mats Hummels will probably still be out for Germany. They're playing centre backs at full back still. Ukraine failed to score against Germany, but they had plenty of chances, as I mentioned in the previous match. Poland are probably a better attacking force than them, so I think goals are going to be coming thick and fast in this game, and over 2.5 goals, 4 to 5 best price.
I think that's almost guaranteed to happen in this game of all games. Of all games. Okay, so let's quickly run through the your tips.
Yeah, sure. So we started with England-Wales. I've gone for England to win, both teams to score, 3-1 best price there.
Okay.
Then we've got Northern Ireland-Ukraine. Ukraine to keep a clean sheet at 5-6.
Okay.
Lastly, Germany against Poland, over 2.5 goals at 4 to 5.
I love that. Put that in the accumulator. You'll be absolutely buzzing.
Well, hopefully so. And thanks again to our sponsors for this video. Winner will have a price boost available for the England-Wales game on their site, and of course our site. But not yet released, so it's a bit of a mystery as to what it's going to be. I'm pretty excited to find out what Winner will have up their sleeve. But if you can't wait and you want to open up an account with Winner, then you can place a bet up to £200, and they'll match that bet for you. So why not open an account with them? Easy as that. So thanks very much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel for our weekly and daily tips by pressing the watermark down at the bottom and then pressing subscribe. I've been Ross Casey, this is Jake Johns, and this is our Euro 26 tips for day 7.